Hey guys, welcome back to the SoCal Sports Report. I'm Bobby DeMiro with my co-host Ailis Garcia, bringing you yet another week of great SoCal sports debate. And this week it really is just SoCal. We talk about Northern California a lot, not this week on the show.
Well, we talk a little bit about Northern California.
I guess, a little bit about the Warriors.
But mainly
it's Clippers,
SoCal.
It's Lakers, it's Dodgers this week on our big three topics. And it should be. Those are the big three topics I think everybody's thinking about this week.
Well, except for hockey, but we know you're not a big hockey fan.
No comment. Hey, thanks for making me look bad, though. I appreciate it.
Well, everybody's got their favorite sport and their least favorite sports. I don't like basketball, and yet we still talk about it.
Good save. Good save. All right, let's go on to basketball now. Let's make Ailis look bad instead of making me look bad for a change. First topic, Clippers and Warriors, first-round playoff matchup. We're filming this on Thursday afternoon. This will go up Friday morning. There's a game tonight, Thursday night. We can't predict the future, so we don't know who's going to win tonight. So sorry, we can't analyze that.
And both teams it's 1-1.
It's 1-1. So from the first two games, what do we know so far? What do we like? What have we seen with the Clippers? Ailis, what's your first reaction with the Clippers in those first two games?
First, I do have to say Blake Griffin has really stepped up a notch. He's a lot more aggressive. He even threw water on a fan, supposedly, on a Warriors fan. So the opposing team. But let me break it down for you.
Do it.
He was watching a replay. He had water in his hand. He was upset because whatever the replay showed, obviously he did not, believe the call that was made. And there was a Warriors fan sitting right behind him. Some say it was on purpose. Some say it was on accident. Water in hand. Arms went up. Fan got soaked. So, the best friend of the fan spoke to the media afterwards and said that it was an accident, it wasn't on purpose, but I think it was kind of on purpose.
Okay, I've got two questions on this. First off, you say the best friend of the fan spoke to the media. This is how awful our culture is now. You're the best friend of the guy who got water spilled on him.
Random guy.
You talk to the media. I bet he got like 1,000 new Twitter followers. Like, this is how stupid this is.
Yeah, I'll probably get a sponsorship out of it.
This is like my
reality show.
You and my mom are the only people who follow me on Twitter. And this kid spoke to a fan about his friend getting hit with water, and he's probably Twitter famous right now. That's awful.
Yeah, that means what we have to do now. We have to go sit behind.
Yeah, seriously, we got to sit behind somebody's thing wearing the opposing team shirt, which is my other question. If it's at Staples Center, if it's a Clippers playoff game, you know that if you wear a Warriors shirt right behind the Clippers bench, you just have to expect water was the best thing that could have happened to him. He's lucky he didn't get punched.
Exactly, or a basketball throw.
Yeah, just somebody accidentally swats a ball into the crowd. Oh, it hits him in the nose. Our fault.
My bad.
My bad.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, how big of a party foul?
I saw actually an Angels fan sitting in the middle of Dodger blue at Dodger Stadium.
Well,
this is my biggest pet peeve, actually, and this was not during the Freeway Series.
This wasn't an Angels-Dodgers game.
I think the Giants-Dodgers game. So, my biggest pet peeve is wearing a random jersey that's not related to the two teams that are playing. Or just a sports, jersey. I understand it's sports, but you're just so far off. Don't do it. Don't do it.
So you're saying if it's a Dodgers-Giants game, either wear Dodger stuff
or Giants stuff, but anything other than that is out of the question.
I agree.
I'm going to wear, I don't know. Don't wear something basketball. Don't wear a Lakers jersey just because we're in LA. No.
So you don't... Okay, see, there's one thing that confuses me about this. If you're at a Dodgers game, you say don't wear a Lakers jersey. It shows an LA allegiance, but you're saying no.
No, I know yesterday Farmer and who else was it? Swaggy P, went and threw out the first pitch at the Dodger game, and they wore their Dodger uniform. But that's everybody does that. But don't go and wear someone else's team's jersey at a game that has nothing to do with that other team.
You sound pretty fired up.
I am. That biggest pet peeve.
Biggest pet peeve.
I see people all the time when I go to games, and it's just not.
Wow. So you don't mind.
Not down.
You don't mind people driving slowly or not using their turn signals. You don't mind people talking loud on their cell phones. You care about jerseys at games.
I do get upset when people talk on their cell phone at the gym.
Oh yeah. Well, that's everybody's pet peeve. Yeah. Well,
or
for those of us
loudly.
All right, before we get too far off topic, back to the Clippers, Ailis. You see what you did to me? You didn't want to talk basketball, and you accomplished that goal.
Right?
Seriously. So the Clippers, game one, they lose. Here's the thing, though. Blake Griffin only played 19 minutes. Chris Paul had a 4-to-3 assist-to-turnover ratio. How often is Chris Paul going to have a 4-to-3 assist-to-turnover? That was a bad game, a wash, and they still almost won at the end. Game two.
It was a close game.
It was a close game. So they played poorly and still almost stole the victory from Golden State. And then in game two, the Clippers won by, 40 points?
Yeah.
So, or I think it was actually 30, but still, they blew them out. So Game 3 tonight in Oakland. I don't see Golden State. I think Golden State will get 1 or 2 at home, but I don't see Golden State winning the series. I think the Clippers advance to round 2. Am I wrong?
Well, also, we haven't seen Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson really fired up yet.
Yeah.
And, you saw what they did last year. So,
yeah, first round of the playoffs, absolutely.
If they can start shooting, that can be pretty dangerous.
I still don't see the Warriors winning. I mean, maybe, 4-2, but I don't see the Warriors winning a series.
Maybe. It's a toss-up. I don't know.
Well, here's
see. What do you guys think?
We do want to know what you guys think, and here's my other question. This is maybe more pertinent to the Clippers. Assuming the Clippers get out of the first round, can they go even deeper in the playoffs, or does it end in round 2?
I think it ends in round 2.
Wow.
I really don't think.
Because they would theoretically play Oklahoma City, who's the 2 seed.
Yeah, and they've just been so great all year, way better than the Clippers, so...
Interesting. Well, that's the thing to sound off on is, A, how does this Clippers-Warriors series go down? 1-1 right now. Game 3 is tonight, although you'll be seeing this tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's 1-1 when we're filming this. How does the Clippers-Warriors series go down? And then, if the Clippers win, if they lose, they're done. If they win, how deep do they go in the playoffs? We want to hear from you guys on Twitter at SoCal Sports TV. Let's transition to the less interesting, maybe more interesting, less successful NBA team in Los Angeles.
But with more fans.
Definitely more fans, definitely maybe stronger allegiance and more loyalty, but definitely more losses this year by about 40.
Well, how many did they lose? 55?
55, yeah. So the LA Lakers off-season outlook, this is pretty much the last time we're going to talk about the Lakers as a team for a while, assuming nothing huge happens.
But with the Lakers, something big always
Something always happens.
So,
I mean, in the draft and trades, and so, okay, that's a total lie. We'll talk about them in a few weeks. Where do we start on the offseason outlook, Ailis? Mike D'Antoni's brother, Dan. Yeah, Dan D'Antoni. His name is Dan D'Antoni.
His parents were so creative.
Why would you name somebody Dan D'Antoni?
Right?
No, seriously, why would you?
I don't know.
Okay, just so, okay.
Let's call up his mom.
Yeah, I'm sure she would love to talk to us. Yeah, I bet she does.
Leave your comment below, Mrs. D'Antoni.
Old Miss D'Antoni. Does he get fired? There's a rumor going around that he will be replaced. Does he get fired?
Of course he will be replaced.
So you're saying he's done?
Yeah. Totally done.
Okay.
Why would he still be there? It was one of the, if not the worst season ever in franchise history. He's sorry. You're out.
You got your chance. It's over.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I agree with you.
What, you think he's going to be?
No, look, I agree with you. I just wonder how the Lakers have already paid buyouts to coaches the last few years who have been fired. They still owe D'Antoni money on his contract. If you look at it from a financial perspective, which you like to do, it may not be the greatest business decision to fire him, have to pay another coach, have to still pay D'Antoni. It just, I don't know.
Although, the Buses seem pretty confident and they stood by him, in all of their interviews and throughout the whole season. Obviously, you have to if that's your coach, but personally, I think he should go.
Well, that decision is Mitch Kupchak's, and everybody else's in that, or in the front office, but that's Mitch Kupchak's, and he's the other big question this offseason. He's got to earn his keep. He has to. The season was bad. I look at it this way. The season is on the coach, and I know it's other extenuating circumstances, but the season's on the coach. Yeah, and injuries happen and things happen, but he coaches the team. He develops strategy. He does, scouting and all that sort of stuff. The offseason is where the general manager makes his money. He develops talent. He goes for trades. He goes for the draft.
He's working right now really hard.
This is Mitch Kupchak's offseason.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is his season. He's in season right now.
He is in season right now, and if he can't acquire the right players, do the right thing with the draft pick, that's on him next year, way more than it's on D'Antoni. D'Antoni can't do anything right now, assuming he keeps the job.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you think about Love, though? He played for UCLA. He loves LA. No pun intended.
I think Kevin Love will be a Laker. I don't know if they can trade for him right now or if they just have to go get him and spend money in free agency. Because honestly, what would you trade for him? A lot of people don't want to give up the draft pick. And if you don't give up the high draft pick, what else are you supposed to... I mean, you don't have a lot of pieces to trade for him. So my big question is, can you get him this year, or is he better to just come in free agency? Long term, I think he's a Laker. But when that happens...
Yeah, you can't just be expecting him to come this year. To bank on it. You have to have some other pieces in place, hopefully.
If you're Minnesota, you're going to want to get a lot for Kevin Love.
Yeah.
So, or as much as you can, considering what's going on. So I don't know if they... I mean, we'll see, but...
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see, right?
Yeah, that's true. And then last thing, Kobe Bryant. We'll talk about him next week. But, Ailis, will he be healthy?
I'm just tired. Tired of Kobe. I feel like he's been louder this season. The season that he hasn't played, I feel like I've heard more about him than when he's playing.
Well, yeah, because he has nothing to do.
Exactly. Like, I'm just done. I love him as a player. Love him with his, athletic abilities and his just the athlete that he is. But he's old. I'm done. I'm ready for someone new. Like, the Lakers just need to be revamped. It's over.
Wow. You're done with, that's actually like, I think he's
I know half the people, more than half the Laker fans are going to hate me. But
95%.
I'm just over it.
That's crazy to me because I think that Kobe next year is going to be a monster year. It's his last big year. It's his last good year. This is his last opportunity to get healthy, assuming he doesn't have a major injury.
I would hope so. I hope that he plays well for the Lakers' sake and for his sake too, because I think you should go out, with a nice bang and, have his nice kind of like ending tour. But
wow.
I'm just done.
Learning a lot about you.
New.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like Derek Jeter, like.
Wow. So in one show, you've managed to insult Kobe and Derek Jeter.
Yeah. I'm a Jeter fan, but I like them when they're at their,
God, what are you going to say about Puig in a few years?
You're not allowed to see.
Wow.
He's just started his career, so it'll be a while before I say that.
So it'll be a while. You just turn on people who are over 35.
Yeah, you're old. I'm
cool.
done.
Wow. Interesting. Well, we can't wait to see what happens when you're 35.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's very interesting. All right, well, let's move on to the third topic. Speaking of Puig and talking about a little baseball, we're going to talk about the Dodgers. We've been now 3 weeks into the season, about 20, 22 games into the season. The Dodgers sit atop the NL West. However, the Giants and Rockies are not far behind.
Yeah, I was actually really disappointed with the Dodgers for playing the way they did against the Giants. Which means the Giants are actually pretty good.
Well, yeah, the Giants are pretty good. Don't sleep on the Rockies. We'll talk about them in a minute.
Yeah,
and the Padres are pretty good.
Remember, this is SoCal Sports Report. So,
hey, listen, people want to hear about the Rockies. They're in the NL West. It counts.
About the Rockies.
This is my show.
Exactly. Your show.
Yeah. Go away.
50-50.
Whatever, man. Okay, so what about these Dodgers? Before we get on the other NL West teams, biggest question, Ailis, is seeing what you've seen for the first 3 weeks, will they win the division at the end of the year?
Assuming everyone is healthy and can play.
Which is a big assumption.
We've already had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Yes. So Kershaw supposedly coming back soon. AJ Ellis with knee surgery. Who else? If Ryu hurts his toenail again, it's just like there's always some Hanley with his being hit by the pitch. So there's always something going on. I think batting-wise and hitting-wise, they have enough people, and even fielding, they have enough people that could fill in spots, like we've seen so far, especially like in the outfield too. There's enough people to go around, but pitching-wise is tough. And AJ Ellis, he really needs to come back.
Yeah, they do need AJ Ellis back. I actually think the opposite pitching-wise. I think 3 weeks into the season, you pretty much haven't had Kershaw. He pitched in Australia, and that was it. But 3 weeks into the season, you sit atop the division without Kershaw. If you're looking at the pitching of the Dodgers, I think you got to feel pretty good. And say when Kershaw gets back, we obviously get a lot better, but we're already doing okay.
Yeah, they're doing fine. I mean, I don't think it's anything to worry about just yet. But if people are literally like down for the count, out for the season, as the season progresses, injuries later in the season are more intense and affect the team a little bit more.
Now, I will say this, seriously, believe me, I think when you look at the end of the season, who is going to be there? I think the Dodgers win. I'll say they win the NL West. They've got the best team, barring some sort of catastrophic injury. I think the Dodgers win the NL West, but
your Rockies, they're going to be right behind.
No, listen to this. The Giants have real problems scoring runs. I know they scored like 11 in Colorado the other day and hit like 8 home runs, but besides that game, they have real problems scoring runs, which is bad, and their pitching staff is good, but not good enough to overcome that. The Padres are going to be pretty decent.
That's what you've been saying.
And look out for the Rockies' Murderers Row lineup. Tulowitzki, Gonzalez, Arenado's won a Gold Glove and nobody knows who he is. Justin Morneau has completely reinvigorated his career in Colorado. Michael Kadire, who, won the batting title last year. And you got Charlie Blackmon leading off, who leads the league in batting average, has the highest wins above replacement out of anybody in the National League, and he's your leadoff hitter. Murderers Row lineup. I don't know if they continue at that level, but I'm just saying, look out for the Rockies. And for the folks at home, this weekend, Rockies are in Chavez Ravine against the Dodgers. I told this one, I texted her last night, I said, listen, let's go to a game, not to analyze it or work it or anything, just as fans, let's go to a Rockies-Dodgers game. And you know what she told me?
Family comes first.
She had to go visit a baby. A baby instead of going to a Dodgers-Rockies
sports
game.
don't work out. Moving over to politics.
A
Kissing
baby.
babies.
Kissing baby. Just taking names and kissing. You visiting a baby instead of seeing the Dodgers.
The baby's 3 months old. I have to visit the baby before it turns 16.
The season's 1 month old. You got to visit the season before it turns 16.
Less.
Wow.
How many games are played at home?
81.
Exactly.
Well, how many babies are there in the world? Like 2 billion.
Yeah, but not that I have to go see.
Party foul, man. You're visiting a baby instead of seeing the Dodgers. I am so disappointed.
Hey, I have Time Warner Cable, so I have Sportsnet.
Oh, cheap shot. Wow. Low blow to a lot. Wow. Yeah. Shots fired. Okay.
You can come over to my house and watch it.
I can just see people unfollowing you on Twitter right now.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my
For
God.
all you Rockies fans, follow this guy. He needs more followers.
Yeah, thanks. I actually do. All right, guys. That's it on SoCal Sports Report this week. That was such a low blow about Time Warner Cable. Holy crap. I don't even know where to transition from that. That's all the time we've got for Ailis Garcia. I'm Bobby DeMuro. Get on Twitter at SoCal Sports TV. Give us your opinions and thoughts. We want to hear from you guys. If you've watched the show and what you think about the Dodgers, Clippers, and Lakers, we'll see you guys next week.